hope not.
Well, you know that these things don't really pick up until like, people start joining in and
Yeah, but it's recording. So everyone that watches this recording for the rest of time is going to hear you singing. Is it the Jeopardy? It's not even the Jeopardy song. What is that song?
Oh, I thought that was Jeopardy.
Is it Jeopardy? That's what I said, but I don't think I was right.
Their answers at the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to watch Jeopardy, so I don't even.
Neither am I. I just know that from all the SNL skits. Will Ferrell, they're doing that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh God, we have a poor viewer. Oh,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. We are happy to have you here. I am Dr. Marci Koski, and this is LeeAnna Buis. And today we are going to be talking all about the importance of play for our cats. And this is one of my favorite topics ever.
Much better than cat pee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of say that like all the cat behavior issues are like my favorite things to talk about.
I do.
I mean, I actually really do like talking about house soiling, and we did that last week. So if anybody needs help with house soiling stuff, listen to last week's discussion.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about play, and I love play because you can be really creative with it, and it's all about finding what your cats like, what they don't like, and just kind of what they get into, and that can be really fun for everybody. So yeah, LeeAnna, you want to add anything?
No, that was beautifully put, Marci.
Okay.
Do we have our little comments up today?
You know what? I actually just need to, I'm going to go into the Feline Behavior Solutions group and pull up my video, but do you want to do it from the page?
Yes, I can do that.
So yeah, I think we're live in those two places, and this is going to be on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, we're going to be talking about play. And I think it's really important to understand that for cats, play is so critical in terms of giving your cat a well-rounded life. Cats evolved in an environment where they hunt, they climb, they chase, they explore things, they're running around doing things. They don't just sleep all the time until, humans come along and say, no, I'm in our house all the time now, and you just lay on the couch, sleep there, and be good, and don't destroy our stuff, and don't pee everywhere. And then for the most part, they do that, which is amazing. And but when cats get bored, that can lead to a lot of other issues. So with boredom, you can get stress, you can get depression, you can get destructive behaviors that crop up, like cats pushing things off of shelves intentionally, or peeing on things, aggression, all these different things. So play is essential to giving cats what they need most, and that is to express their instincts as cats, as predatory beasties. Cats are both predators and prey in the wild. And in order to have a happy, confident, secure cat, you need to let that cat really connect with its inner predator inside their environment, which is why play is so important. Now, LeeAnna.
Yeah.
You have a kitty named Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us about Oliver?
He is the love of my life, and I want to strangle him at least 4 times a day. He was a foster fail, very aggressive to me, very aggressive to my other cats. And for those of you that don't know, he's the reason that I met Dr. Marci, because I hired her to help me with him. And play was a big part of his behavior plan, and continues to be today. And there's a specific type of play that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So the story might make more sense then, but I'm going to tell it now because I'm talking. So there's a type of play called the prey sequence, which we'll come back to. And it's just phenomenal in every way. It does all the good things for a cat, which we'll talk about. And when I started that play with him, I saw very clear improvements in his behavior. And then one day, because he's Ollie, he got one of the feathers from the toy that we use stuck in his teeth. and it scared the bejesus out of him. He took off running into the bedroom, trying to outrun the feather that was stuck in his face. So I had to catch him. I had to like pull it out from his teeth. He was very upset about it. And that experience made him so afraid of his toy that we couldn't do the prey sequence for about 3 weeks. Cats are very good at making associations, good and bad. And in this case, he made a bad association. He didn't want anything to do with that toy. And over that few weeks, his aggression gradually got worse with my other cats. When I slowly started working with him again on this particular type of play and getting him comfortable with it again, that aggression slowly started to get better. So I can't overemphasize the value of play in any behavior situation, whether you've got overly aggressive cats, whether you've got fearful cats who are more in tune with their prey side at the moment than their predator side, kittens who are crazy energetic, older cats who have kind of lost their drive to play. It really is a game changer. I think, if it's part of just about every behavior plan that Marci and I do, if not every behavior plan.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually had one client that I haven't talked about play with.
Yeah.
Unless somebody is actually doing really well with play, and sometimes they are, it's great, but usually I hit play for every single client.
Yeah.
Because it helps with everything. And I think, LeeAnna, what Ollie was doing was he had some play and predatory aggression towards your other kitties. And so he was trying to hunt your other kitties, basically.
Yes, he was. And I can actually tell you the second that it got bad, and some of you may recognize this from your own cats, when I initially adopted him, my other cats held their own with him. I didn't let them fight, but when he would start to get in their faces, they would tell him to knock it off, and he kind of would. But one day, my senior little mama kitty just decided she wasn't in the mood, and that day, instead of standing her ground, excuse me, she decided to turn around and run away from him. And I literally saw a light bulb go off in his brain. I can chase this now. And from that moment, he became the predator, she became the prey, and their relationship instantly got worse.
Right. So in that case, what I advised you to do was to give Ollie really good play sessions to alleviate that predatory urge and him going after Chloe. But then the other thing was, and I remember we talked about this, trying to engage Chloe, even though she's an older kitty, in play sessions as well, because then she connects more with her predatory side. And you did tell me that she was doing better standing up for herself.
She did. She got some achy joints in the meantime, so she's had a rough time playing lately. We're still trying to get that worked out with the vet, but yeah, the more I could get her engaged back in play, the more she kind of told him off.
He's like, yeah,
and you need to back off now, pal.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah. And I just want to say, for people who are watching, if you have questions or comments, feel free to type them in the comments so that we can address those questions. We're happy to answer questions you have about play. Let's see. Okay, now you're probably wondering, all right, yeah, play is kind of a surrogate for hunting, and it can really help cats connect with the predatory beastie within, which is great. But how do you exactly go about guiding your cat through a hunt if you aren't just releasing birds and mice in your home? Because that can be challenging. There are some challenges associated with that. Basically, you want to take your cat through what's called the prey sequence.
My favorite. Let me tell you, like, when you get a cat, when someone hands you a cat at the cat store or wherever you get your cat, they should hand you these directions. Every single cat owner on the planet should know about this, and none of us did.
Yeah.
So this is our mission in life, to spread the news about the prey sequence.
Prey sequence is so important. Okay, so we have 4 steps in the prey sequence. Really easy. First is staring. All right, so it's like, okay, target locked. And then we have stalking and chasing. So that's when you see the butt wiggle happening.
Wiggle butt. I love the wiggle
and
butt.
then the little butt dance, and then pew, they take off chasing, and then pouncing and grabbing, and then performing a kill bite.
And for people who don't know, because I've had a lot of clients ask me, the kill bite is generally either like they take it in their mouth and they give it a good shake, or they grab on, they flop over, and they bunny kick it to death. Right. That's what a kill bite looks like.
And the bunny kick is actually a disemboweling technique for those of you who didn't know. So vicious, you know, like for larger prey, you know, squirrels, rats, bunnies. It's, you know, they use their back claws to rake open that soft underside of their prey. Oh,
we don't have a visual aid for this, thankfully.
Yeah. No pictures.
Not the pretty part of cats.
Yeah. But you know, not every cat does the kill bite. My cats don't do the kill bite, but they do grab it in their mouths and then they'll release it. And you know, so you want them to use their mouth in some respect. It's not just paw work, but it is like, you know, getting it to their mouth and doing something with their mouth. What a lot of people don't understand, and people know this, but they just don't put it together with play sessions. Cats will go back and forth along that prey sequence multiple times during a play session. It's not like you just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and boom, you're done. No, cats, every time you turn on a nature show, and there's cats, what do? They hunt and then they torture their prey. They let them escape. No, you're coming back here. Oh yeah, you think you're leaving? No.
They watch them suffer. They want to know how they move now that their leg is broken.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's terrible. So they go back and forth along that prey sequence many times throughout a play session. So your cat is going to reset to that staring phase. And you know, I hear all the time, LeeAnna, you probably hear this too. My cat played for 2 minutes and then just kind of sat back and he just watches.
Keep going.
Keep moving the wand toy.
If your cat leaves the room, okay, maybe stop. But even then, sometimes Ollie will leave the room and I will keep flying and he'll come running back in after it.
You know what some cats do? They leave the room and then they peer around the corner because they want to see what the thing does when they're not there. So you even then you have to be careful that they're not just, you know, coming back for a second look. So yeah, make sure you are re-engaging your cat. Don't just, you know, they reset to the staring phase. And I get it. Staring phase, super boring for people. Super boring for people because you're standing there with their toy and you're like, come on, play. And the cat's just like, what are you doing? But it can be actually really, really exciting and stimulating for cats. So even if your cat reset to the staring phase, don't give up. Still play. Continue to move the thing. Some cats, and especially older cats, they tend to spend more time in that staring phase. They're more sophisticated. So when you brought Ollie home,
they're
classier. They're not as easily fooled. When you first brought Ollie home, I'm sure he played with almost anything.
We'll talk about the toys for prey sequence in a second. But yeah, the second I got it out, he was just like, and then he just tried to carry it away like it was his and he had killed it and he was done. And I have to, still today, he grabs it and I have to follow him through the house until he takes it where he decides he wants to let it go. And then we keep playing. So, but yeah, he was a year when I adopted him, which is right at the peak of crazy kitten play. And so he would play with invisible things. He didn't even need a thing. He would just make up things in his mind and play with them.
So, LeeAnna, what's the best type of toy to go through to be able to give the cat an outlet for the prey sequence?
We are such cat nerds.
Dude, I know.
We love this topic so much because it's the most fun thing you can do with your cat. So the problem with a lot of cat toys is that they don't let cats go through all 4 of those steps, right? So laser pointers are a great example. Now, this isn't to say your cats can't play with all kinds of toys all day long whenever they want to. They just need this special kind of play once or twice a day so they know that predatory release is coming. And so a lot of toys don't let them go through all 4 steps. So, if you've got a laser pointer, they can stare, they can stalk and chase, they can pounce, but there's nothing to grab or kill bite. If you're tossing furry mice, they can chase, pounce, grab, kill bite, but there's nothing to stare at. It's not moving differently. So the only kind of toy that takes them through the whole sequence is a wand toy. And my favorite wand toy, thanks to Dr. Marci recommending it to me, if I can untangle it, is called Da Bird. D-A Bird. Terrible name, fantastic toy. And that's because it's got 3 feet of stick and 3 feet of string, right? So most wand toys, they kind of move like this. This thing can fly around a room like you would not believe.
You've got 6 feet of
6 feet of play.
Yeah.
And so this can be even really good for cats who are nervous, who don't like to get too close. If you're trying to socialize a cat, you can get a lot of distance between you and your cat when you do this kind of play. It can be great if you're exhausted at the end of the day because it takes very little movement from you to make this thing go crazy. So you can be sitting on the couch with your, in your recliner and still get your cat flying around the room. Yeah, it's a great toy, but any wand toy will do the job. You just want something that you can make move like prey, right? And there's a gajillion different lures that you can get. I'm sure we'll talk about types of lures, but right now the one I have on here is a moth because my cat is obsessed with insects. It's a little beat up, but it's also kind of cute. So
this brings up an important point though. Like one of the other things I love about the Da Bird is that it has a clip on the end. So you can put multiple things on that lure. And changing up the lures is really, really important because, so there's a bee.
Feathers. More feathers.
There's, and I have a bucket of lures right here. And I'll show you a few of those in a moment. But cats don't just hunt one thing. And I'll hear often, oh, my cats loved that toy for about 2 weeks and then they just stopped playing with it.
They're bored.
They're bored. They don't just hunt one bird for 2 weeks. They hunt birds, they hunt mice and other rodents, they hunt insects, they hunt snakes and lizard type things, and not just the same individuals, they hunt multiples of those. So,
and some cats have preferences. If you've got a bird toy and your cat's not interested, they may just not be a bird cat. Maybe they're a snakes and lizards cat.
Yeah, so we have like multiple different types of feather lures out there. You can buy variety packs of feathers, which are great and pretty economical. There's this propeller that works on
that thing is ridiculous. It flies around the house. I mean, my cat destroyed it in like 15 minutes, but it was worth it.
It was fun.
So much
fun. For rodents, there's they're not as inexpensive, but the rodent lures that are out there, they're more handmade type of items, and they usually come in multi-packs and they last a little while, so it's worth the investment, I think. Yeah. So here's your standard little mouse.
It's so little.
So little.
Yes, you can just take toys your cat likes and tie them to the end of this thing.
You can absolutely do that. This is a favorite one. This is called the Rat, and it's made of deer fur, which I think it just makes it seem a little bit more realistic, I think, in look and feel. So I know that this is a favorite of my clients. And then I even found these buffalo fur rats. I don't know.
That's not it's kind of like a rabbit mouse hybrid.
I don't know. But there's even variety within these, these rodent type of things.
Yeah, so you can find something that your cat's gonna like. You might have to try a few things, but there's something out there that your cat's gonna like.
There's dragonflies. There are centipedes. There's ugly beetles.
That one grosses me out. I don't like that.
I have a client whose cat only plays with this. She is like obsessed with these beetles. They only play with this.
Oh, weird, man.
And then this is really fun. You can buy multi-packs of this for pretty cheap. These are little wiggly worms, and they kind of mimic the same movement of snakes, but you can put them right onto the Da Bird. Now, if you're trying to find the bird, stock is notoriously low right now, and it's been low for a while. So Amazon stock, you can't get it on Prime anymore. And you can't, I think it's sold out at PetSmart online. You can still get it at Petco online for about $9. You can find it on Amazon, but they're third-party sellers, and they usually charge like $18 for the bird. My next best wand is this one, and this is from Desi and Rue, and it's a extendable fishing pole, and it extends to about 3 feet. The string part is shorter, so it's only about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. But it's made of the nylon, thick nylon, which is nice because it's a little bit harder to chew through instead of the string, and it's not going to get tangled up on a cat so easily. And this is another thing with the bird, especially, and other wand toys with thin strings. You don't want to leave them out.
Yeah.
That can be a choking hazard. Your cat can get tangled up in them, just like what you said with Ollie, getting a feather stuck.
Couple of them because I just accidentally left it out for 5 minutes after we were done playing, and he's got pica, so he eats everything. But
yeah, I had a cat client put it up on her mantelpiece, and she didn't think her cat could get it. Guess what? The cat in the middle of the night got up on the mantle, brought the bird down. It wrapped itself around her tail and then proceeded to chase her through the house. And that cat never played with it again. It was so sad.
Oh no!
So
associations. See, it happens.
Exactly.
Not just my house.
This is the clip for the Desi and Rue Wiggly Wand, and you can get this at the Desi and Rue website. So it's DesiRoo, DEZIROO.com. And it's in their shop. This is their Wiggly Wand. And this is the squid attachment. And my cats like the squid attachment. But anyway, that's my next favorite wand. And it's only like $12. So it's a good deal. I bought an imitation bird wand on Amazon because they were pretty cheap. They were only like $7 or $8 or something. And I was like, well, the bird is getting really hard to find. I don't know what to do. So I ordered this cheapo one. It broke as I was putting it together.
Sometimes it's worth it to pay for the original.
Yeah, the string was a lot thinner and cheaper too. I mean, it was just bad news all the way around. So
should we tell people how to take their cat through the price sequence?
Yes.
And how long to do this? So you want to try to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, once or twice a day, depending on how active your cat is. If you've got an older cat, a cat who's not really playful, it may take a little time for them to warm up to it. You may kind of have to teach them how to play again if it's been a while, but it's worth doing that. And you really just want to make your lure act like prey. So first it's going to be really excited and flying around or squiggling around on the ground, whatever kind of prey you have. Your cat's going to stare for a minute. They're going to jump in. They're going to beat it up. Then they're going to reset to staring. And that's when you want to make it move a little differently. So now it's, its wing is broken. Its leg is broken. It's so sad. So it's going to flop around a little bit. Maybe it's going to play dead and then wake up, bounce around. Maybe it goes and hides behind something and makes a little noise back there. Ollie loses his mind over that right now. They'll jump back in. They'll beat it up. They'll do kill bites. They'll go back and forth. And then when you're ready to kind of wind them down, let it die. It starts moving slower. It's, it's not bouncing around as much, and see if you can get them to do that good final kill bite. And then should we tell them the ultimate secret when you have a conference call that you need a cat to be quiet for?
Absolutely.
Hunt, eat, groom, sleep. That's a cat sequence. So take them through this prey session, feed them something meaty, something wet. They will take a bath, they will take a nap, and they will leave you alone while you're on the phone. Game changer now that we work at home.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you've got two cats who don't get along very well, separate play sessions can really help too, because one of them's not going to want to play if the other one's bouncing off the walls chasing this thing.
And that's a good policy anyway. I mean, you can have group play sessions, but if all cats are sharing or whatever, but it's a good idea to have each cat. get at least one play session a day by themselves, because cats aren't group predators unless they're lions, and most people don't have lions in their homes.
I wish.
I know. As much as our cats like to think they're lions, they're not. And some cats can get really nervous when there's another cat acting predatory in the same room, because then that switches on their prey hat, and they go, I don't want to be hunted here. So they kind of sit back, and then they don't get all the benefits of play. So having separate play sessions for cats is really important. One thing I was going to add, and I've been telling clients this. So remember how we mentioned the bunny kick?
Love the bunny kick.
I know, it's so awful. Some cats really do love to wrestle, especially if you have a cat who likes to try to attack and wrestle your other cats, or
your arm
or your leg. What you might want to do is, like how we said, well, if your cat loves the laser pointer, that's okay. Start a play session with them, but just like go move into a wand toy so you can finish the prey sequence. Well, you can kind of end your play session, if your cat likes to wrestle, with a kicker toy. This is my favorite kicker toy. It's vacuum packed in plastic, and I could smell catnip when I opened up my mailbox.
That's what happens with this one too, with the crazy banana.
Yeah. It is so dank in here right now. My cats are like, what is going on? I'm getting a contact high just from smelling this through the plastic. But ending your play session with a larger toy that your cat can kick and bite and just get that larger kind of full body wrestle in with, that can be really satisfying for some cats. Now, this has, like I said, really strong catnip in it. And so I wouldn't necessarily do this with every play session, but maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, because you don't want your cats to get used to catnip. They can kind of build up a little bit of a tolerance to it. So keep it novel, keep it fun, rotate lures, like every day or 2, especially if you have an older kitty. Stuff needs to stay new, fresh, novel, exciting, change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do fun facts? I love fun facts.
Yes, please. Fun facts.
So 2 things that are important here. First of all, just to help explain why this kind of play, this prey sequence play, is so important. Indoor-outdoor cats who are well fed indoors will still hunt 25% of the time that they're outside, even though they don't need to for food. Wild cats, outdoor cats who have just killed something, will abandon a fresh kill to go after another prey animal if it catches their attention. That's how ingrained in their DNA it is to hunt. Even when they don't need to for food, they still have to do it. They can't stop themselves.
I know.
So it's so important to give them that opportunity.
In the wild, they hunt between 10 and 20 times a day. When you think about it, like a mouse has 30 calories. And if a cat needs 200 calories a day, how many mice do they need to eat?
Yeah.
So
I'm not doing math, but a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Well, they need to hunt between 10 and 20 times a day. They're not successful every single time. They're successful about 30% of the time is what I read. So, they're spending a lot of time out there, not just, actually just bringing down their prey items, but they have to actually find them and then capture them and then kill them.
Those drives don't go away just because they live in our houses.
Yeah, exactly. So,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. That's what I was going to say. I mean, hunting, like you said, is really ingrained in their nature. So what other, do you have another fun fact?
I was just going to say another kind of fun fact for people who are trying to get their cat to play. Don't put it right in front of their faces.
Yes.
Because cats actually can't see well within about a foot or so of their faces. They use their whiskers to sense where things are. So if you plop a treat that doesn't have a heavy scent right in front of your cat's nose and they don't realize it, and you think they're, maybe actually going blind, they're not. They just can't see that well right in front of their faces. So keep the toys back a little bit if you're trying to engage them, and that can work a little better.
It's kind of annoying. I mean, cats, like prey items
Right?
don't just dangle
They
themselves
don't do
right
that.
in front of their cat's face.
Right.
And when you do that, it can really annoy a cat. And then they're kind of like, you know, that play energy might turn into actual aggression. Like you're pissing me off. Stop it.
I'm gonna be honest though, sometimes I specifically like do it to annoy my cat. I feel bad, but sometimes I am like, is this bugging you? Would you like poke him with it? I'm awful.
Oh my gosh. My cat Oliver, after the initial enthusiasm of running and jumping and, you know, going after the wand toy, he'll start just laying down and playing on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bring it to me, Mom.
Yeah, you know what? That's
Bring it a
fine.
little closer, Mom.
It's not awesome, but it's fine. Because guess what? He's still playing. He's still engaging in some of those actions in the prey sequence.
Yes.
And cats get tired. And if that is fun for your cat, let him do it. And then you can give him a break. And then maybe you drag that toy off so that it's a prey disappearing around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets up again and then he'll chase after it. And then you can re-engage him in some footwork. But even if he's laying on his back, you can still play with him. It's totally fine. Yeah.
It seems silly that you have to try to make your cat play, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So what other kinds of toys do we have? I know Dana had asked a question. She said they do prey sequence play sessions like 3 or 4 times a day.
Hey.
And he likes to engage with the Doc and Phoebe Hunter feeder toys, that's fantastic. But he still gets bored. So what can we add to the routine?
Well, electronic toys are great. This is our new favorite in our house. Let me see if I can catch it at the right moment. It spits out a little thing, but it does it in a circle, so I have to hold it in the right spot. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Is it going to do it?
There we go. See, so it pops in and out. When I first got this for Ollie, he grabbed on and started dragging it across the house. It was a favorite for about 2 weeks. Now he doesn't want to touch it, but in another couple months he will. So we just put it away.
And I found that with electronic and battery operated toys, cats can get tired of them very quickly. So I'll have them out for a play session, but then as soon as they're done, I put it away and then I don't bring it out for like another week. So rotating, especially those electronic toys and putting them away and not just letting them sit out is really important.
This is another cute one that I just bought.
Yeah.
For cats who like to pull things apart because it comes apart in little pieces. All the little arms come off, the cheese comes off.
Nice.
The cat can rip it to pieces, and it's actually supposed to be ripped to pieces. So we're having some fun with that one this week too.
That is great. And, you know, that makes a lot of sense because, you know, cats like to maim their prey, and it's that transformation in the prey that kind of keeps them coming back. And so, like, if you can't change the way the prey looks, sometimes all you got is the way the prey moves. But if you have a toy that does come apart, it can change the way it looks.
Yeah. What do you got?
One of my favorite, and this is a battery operated. I'm personally not a huge fan of battery operated toys. I just find that cats tend to get bored with them quickly. But this little guy is one of my favorites. And you can get them with like tails on. Yeah. Yes, you have the one with the tail. You can get them in 5 packs. This is a hex bug, and basically it just vibrates. Ooh. And then it has a little switch on the bottom, so you can turn it on and off. And you can actually replace those batteries too. And basically it just moves around in random directions, and it'll right itself if it falls over. The trick to this is that, well, first of all, it won't work on carpet. It has to be like a hard floor. Yeah. Don't just let these guys run wild because it will go under your fridge. And then you just have to
the stove, and I had to wait like 5 minutes for it to direct itself out of the stove.
And if it doesn't come out on its own, you just have to wait until the battery dies. Bad news. Bad news. So the thing that makes this a really fun toy is that you can put it in any type of container, and the type of container you use can make it an entirely new experience.
Yeah.
So one way I like to use it is to put it in a shallow box and then cover it with like a couple layers of wrapping tissue paper so that it's like a bug or a mouse going underneath the paper. You can use even a baking sheet or whatever you have, just where it's not going to come out. Another thing you can do is put it into any kind of track toy. Those like ball tracks, and it'll move the little ball around. Another thing you can do is put it in a box, but cut holes in the box about this big so the cat can like see inside and put their paw inside.
Yeah.
And toss one or more of these in there with some crumpled up pieces of paper or cat treats or cat food. So like it really just depends on what ways you can think of to use this. Like put it in any kind of different container and it becomes a lot of fun. It's a new toy, a new experience. So this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What else? What else do we have?
What else do we have? Do we want to get into food puzzles today? Probably not.
No, let's
save a whole other session of.
Yeah, that we can spend an entire session on food puzzles. I think the take home messages would be to really change things up for your cats. So even if you have a wand toy, change lures frequently.
Change how you're moving it.
Yep.
Change where you're playing.
Yeah. Oh, Dana has a hex bug. Cool. Yeah, put it in a box. See what happens. And one hex bug is fun, but guess what's more fun?
17 hex bugs.
17 hex bugs.
Another thing that we recommend a lot too, take like 50% of your cat's toys. If you're like us, you have a gajillion, put them away. And then every few days, rotate 10, 20% in and out. So the cats always feel like they have something new to play with.
Yeah. This is a really great book. It's called Beyond Squeaky Toys. And it's for both cats and dogs. And it talks about enrichment. And we talked about active play today, but enrichment is all about bringing out your cat's natural instincts. And the great thing about that is that when cats are allowed to express their instincts, their stress levels go down, their confidence goes up. Yes. So active play, hunting, it's all about stress reduction, building confidence, allowing cats to have their natural instincts. This focuses more on enrichment, and it does include some play activities, but it also talks about just engaging the senses in different ways. And it talks about different enrichment categories. So there's like social enrichment, there's play enrichment, there's feeding enrichment, lots of different things. And the goal with this is to simply be able to do something with your cats that makes one day different from the next. It's that boring, that monotony, that same old thing that really kind of grinds cats down. Now, LeeAnna, you had an interesting idea.
I did, and I'm hoping that some of our followers will get on board and do this with me. I'm hoping you'll do this with me, because even though we teach this for a living, we are still guilty of not giving our cats enough engagement. So what I'm committing to doing, and what I'm hoping you guys will commit to as well, is trying to find at least one new experience for my cats every week. And that can be new toys, making a food puzzle, getting something out of a cabinet that they've just never seen before and letting them investigate it, training, anything you can think of that's just something new that they haven't been able to do before. And
putting up a cat shelf, putting out a bird feeder outside.
Yes,
it could be
a good one.
Could be anything.
Showing them cat bird videos if they're into that. Yeah, just anything new. Even just sometimes opening like the Tupperware drawer and letting your cat climb in behind it. Not in the Tupperware drawer, because that's gross, but they'll get in behind it. That can be like a new experience that they just love. So I want to try to do something like that every week for my cats. And if you guys want to do the same thing, then we can pop on, during our talks every week and just share some of our ideas, give each other some ideas, some inspiration. and just keep our cats from being bored out of their minds, because we're all guilty of it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for today. LeeAnna, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
I don't think so, though. When you brought out the book, it reminded me that we should maybe do a session sometime on dogs and cats getting along.
We should definitely do that, because we have a lot of clients with both cats and dogs. So.
And a reminder for you guys to please let us know in the comments. We'll go back and read throughout the week too. If there are topics that you want us to talk about, let us know, because we're doing this for you guys. So.
Ooh, somebody said, hi ladies, our bird feeding ban has been lifted in Ohio yesterday, so the bird feeders will be up tomorrow. Yay!
The birds are going to be so happy, and so are the cats.
And then Dana said hi, and thank you. You're so welcome. With the bird feeders, I would recommend just being careful. Put them up on those super tall poles so that they don't become prey to cats and other predators outside. I do like birds. And squirrels too, but that can be just such really good enrichment for cats. Yeah, so thank you for putting out bird feeders so that your cats can enjoy watching them. But so just like LeeAnna was saying, if you have topics that you'd like for us to talk about, please do leave a comment. And we're going to try to do this weekly on Thursdays at 5:30.
As long as you get through it for it, we'll keep doing it. When you stop watching, we'll stop, I guess.
We're gonna try. We're gonna forge ahead. And if you have any questions, or if you have any cat behavior issues that are coming up, we are both cat behavior consultants, and we are Feline Behavior Solutions. So visit our website. It's just felinebehaviorsolutions.com, and let us know if you need help, because we offer consultation services. But we have a lot of information on our website, different articles to look at, recommended products. And if you're not a member of our private Facebook group, you can join that and ask questions. We have some great moderators who handle that. And, it's been a lot of help for people. So that's it for me. And LeeAnna, anything else? Nope.
I'm good. I'm excited for next week. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but I'm excited for it, whatever it is.
Do you have something planned? Do you know what you're going to implement for this next week, given your...
Well, I know because Ollie has a vet visit tomorrow. So tonight we need to do some desensitization around trimming claws. So that's not going to be fun for him, but the training and the reinforcement and the treats that he gets while I do it are going to be fun for him.
Okay.
I did get a new orthopedic bed for my senior kitty this week, which Ollie has decided that he loves. So he kind of already got something new this week, but I want to try to get something going for Chloe. I don't know what yet, but I'll talk to you about it next week.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to hearing about it. So anyway, thanks for hanging in. Thanks for watching, and we will see